Hey friends, welcome back. So I'm reposting this video because I got some feedback that voice was not properly audible. Even though I checked it before uploading, it seemed like it was okay, but that's okay. So I'll just repost this video with the details. So friends, today we are going to discuss about the most powerful house in the birth chart. Okay, so that is the 11th house. Okay, as you can see, it clearly shows that how we can see a person can be wealthy. Okay, so wealth, it doesn't mean that fulfilling all the criterias. It seems that it shows abundance. Okay, so you have money which is more than you can do anything. Okay, so that's what it means, like becoming very rich. Okay, so friends, we have 12 houses in birth chart. Okay, so first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. Okay, so 12th house signifies different things in this birth chart, but 11th house is one of the houses which is very powerful. There are two reasons why this 11th house is very powerful. One is it is the house of gains. Okay, so what kind of gains we will be getting out of it is whenever we see that the 11th house is functional, it is working well, or the 11th lord is well placed, then the results we can expect out of this is a person will have high income, wealth, and financial freedom. This is what the word is, financial freedom. Okay, so you don't have dependency, you can do whatever you want. Okay, and absolutely, if the person has financial freedom, then he will be a successful in a business or in career. Okay, it can be job or it can be business, or both the fields the person will be successful. Okay, so fulfillment of long-term desires and ambitions. Okay, because this is why it makes this house very important, is it is the house of desires and long-term desires. Okay, so when we have any desire, fulfillment is related. Okay, so people have different desire with them. Okay, so obviously, which is all the time it is related to wealth, because people who struggle or who struggle financially, or it can be any kind of struggle, but they all know that the solution lies with money. Okay, if I had money, I would have done that. Okay, that's what the thought is. So that is why it's a fulfillment of desire. Okay, house, it's a house which fulfills the desires. Okay, and it gives a lot of support from friends. So friends doesn't mean that it's only a couple of friends or very few friends. No, it's not like that. Friends is a network or a circle. Okay, so you may have seen all these movie stars, or even persons who are gaining a lot from this social sites these days. Okay, if you can say that social media, or any website which has a lot of connection or subscribers, or at least we can see that viewers, a lot of viewers are there, and there is a lot of fan following which is there. Obviously the 11th house will be powerful in that chart. That is why they are getting that kind of support, even though whatever may be the condition. Okay, so that is the only reason, because we would have seen all the time in life, like particularly this is the best example is movie stars. Okay, so they can be anything in their personal life, they can do good or bad or anything. Okay, but they'll be getting continuous success because they have gained it. Okay, they have gained this with their karma in previous lives. So all the time when we have a belief in astrology, we need to believe that cycle of karmas is active. Okay, any chart which is created, that cannot be created without karma. Okay, so there is some karma which is there, so the karma can be good or bad based on that the chart is prepared. Okay, so that is why this chart has like a lot of friends, support from friends and seniors and adults. Yes, it sometimes it represents your elder brother also. So people who have a very good 11th house, they get support from elders as well as elder brother also. Some at times it shows. Okay, then the other thing is like recognitions, popularity, leadership. Obviously, if the person is rich and influential, he will have a lot of recognition, popularity, and leadership, right? So and happiness through achievement of gains, this is what matters here. Okay, this is fulfillment of desire. This is why it makes this house the most powerful house. Okay, multiple sources of income, abundance, abundant profit. Okay, so he'll be having gains throughout the life. More number of planets placed in 11th house, the more number of the result will be the results will be very good. Okay, so how to see that, let's understand here. So friends, why this house is very important? Because this house has a relationship with your fifth house. Okay, so fifth house is the house of your child. Fifth house is the house of your karma. Any planet which is placed in fifth house, it clearly shows that whether it can be a good planet, auspicious planet, or it can be malefic. Any planet which is placed over there, it shows the kind of deeds we have done in the past. That is why fifth house has direct aspect on 11th house, and 11th house has a direct aspect on fifth house. Okay, one more example here is like whenever you would have seen people struggle a lot when they are that they are not married. It can be go with good male or female or anyone. Okay, but once they get married and once they are blessed with daughter or son, uh, all of a sudden they start to prosper. Okay, it may be all of a sudden or it can happen slowly, but they prosper. Okay, because child is also a blessing in astrology. People who have child, they have many obviously they have many feedback saying that the child is not doing this or he's not listening to is listening to them or that kind of things, or they would have thought that if the child could be like that or could be like this. Okay, but anyone who is actually not having a child, they know the pain of not having a child. Okay, that is one thing. Then whether the child will go in a good direction or not, that depends, but that I will make a separate video for fifth house where I'll discuss on that. But here one thing I would like to add here. So when I'm talking about a child, what I have seen many cases is whenever there is a girl child which is born in the first, or she's the eldest one, there is a huge possibility that the father will prosper. Okay, most of the cases you would have seen that the girl child will come with her comfort and with her abundance. Okay, which helps the father to prosper. Obviously, the person is also blessed in such a way that with the birth of the child, they will start to prosper, or they will start to slowly gain success, or they will be financially independent, or all the things that happens in their life. Okay, it is going to happen with the male child also, but male child cases, it may happen at times, it will be a little slow. But a female or that's a daughter case, then it will happen, it starts actually after the birth of this girl child. Okay, so while I do the video for fifth house, I'll explain how it happens or how it works. One more example I will tell you. I'm not going to glorify any character or anything. So in Ramayana, like Ravan has the power to control the planets. Okay, so while before he may that is Indrajit was about to he was expecting Indrajit, so he instructed all the planets that to go into a house or into a position where they will be that will be the blessing. Okay, so he'll be a winner only. Okay, so all these planets were placed in the 11th house. Okay, because any planet which is placed in the 11th house, that is going to give the best results. Okay, so but the karmic planet is Saturn. So Saturn was it went from 11th to 12th house, which became the cause of death of Indrajit. That was a untimely death, sudden. Okay, that is why. So that was not the point. The point here is like the planets selected 11th house only. Why? Because whenever the planet, it can be benefic planet or it can be malefic planet, but it is placed in 11th house means it is mandated to give very good results. Okay, so that is why. So when we see that, how to see that 11th house lord is where it is placed. So basically whenever we have the 11th house lord is, if it is placed in any of the houses, it can be second house, it can be fifth house, or it can be ninth house or 10th house. Okay, suppose we are getting a mahadasha of that planet, then we will be getting the result of this house, or there will be kind of fulfillment of desire. Okay, that is the only difference here. Okay, the first thing is this is a house of gain, and the second thing is fulfillment of desire. So any desire that the person is, or anything the person has wished for, that is going to come true in that duration. Okay, so yes, the results can always vary because imagination is quite difficult, different from practicality. Okay, something we have thought of, but it may not be like that, like it is going to happen in the same way that we have thought. Okay, it will never happen because nature is there and it has its own plans. So we know, we cannot do any changes to that. So that is why I was saying that it can be multiple planets which can be placed. Suppose in 11th house, then the person is obviously he's a very lucky person, because if three or more planets are placed in 11th house, then the person will have gains, lifelong gains from those planets. Okay, because he has done a lot of good deeds. That is why he is placed with multiple planets in the 11th house. So that's the point here. Okay, because that is why I told this house is connected with the fifth house. Fifth house is the house of blessing because that was the past date, and that is also a house of sudden gains. Okay, so in the form of gains, this person will be getting from the 11th house. That is why it is the most powerful house, which gives massive gains and success. Okay, it gives a lot of financial stability and growth. Okay, whenever it is placed in the second house, it is creates a huge dhan yoga. Okay, and other houses also it creates a dhan yoga and the raj yoga. Okay, it brings a lot of opportunities and influential friends and network. Okay, deliver the result of past efforts and hard work at the right time. Okay, so this is one more point, that what is the timing. Timing is important. I cannot say that it is the right time, because we have to see that whether the person is going through or is having that mahadasha or not, because antardasha will not be that powerful. But if the person by any chance is getting any planet which is placed in the 11th house or the 11th house mahadasha, then that will be very good, provided a few cases the planet may not be a functional benefic planet. Okay, but still, as I told, any planet which is placed in 11th house is going to give very good results. That is why it is known as the most powerful house in the birth chart. Okay, 11th house, whenever we are seeing that, it is a house also known as the upachaya house. Okay, so upachaya house means the more the age or the of the person, the house gets better. So particularly 6th house is there. Okay, 11th house is there. Okay, these are the houses. Third house is there. So these are the houses, upachaya houses. So with time, those houses perform better. Okay, it cannot be from the first house, or it can be in the later half also. So this is, I can say that this is a house of miracles actually. So you can go ahead and check that whether where your 11th house lord is placed, or if any of your planets is placed in 11th house. One more important point, it includes Rahu and Ketu also. There is one issue: if Rahu and Ketu is placed in 11th house, then the Ketu or the Rahu will be placed in 5th house also. So it means it will have some issues with the child. Okay, so it can be boy or the girl, but the person will have some issues in seeing success of the child. Okay, the child may have to struggle throughout the life. It can happen because at times, if this is formed along with the kala sarpa dosha or kala sarpa yoga, then the person may have to see the son or the daughter have to struggle a bit. Okay, it depends on the person's birth chart also. I mean to say the child's birth chart also, but obviously it is a reflection. Whenever the 5th house or you have 11th house as Rahu and Ketu, obviously Rahu and Ketu can only be there in the 5th house. That is a must. Okay, so one more important thing I will tell you: whenever we see that sun is placed in 11th house, the person will become very rich. That is for sure. Okay, so whenever as I said, all the planets have give results, but whenever we see that if sun is placed in the 11th house, it's very sure that the person will be very rich. Okay, the other thing is, if the 11th house lord is placed in 12th house, okay, so that will have a different kind of results that I will discuss. I'll do one thing. I'll make this second video on different houses itself, so that will give one more idea, that suppose you can find that the 11th lord is, or the 11th house lord is placed in different houses, what kind of results we can get. But if you have any dasha or mahadasha which is coming from the 11th lord, or the planets placed in the 11th house, then you be sure that that dasha Mahadasha will be very good for you, or it will be helpful in fulfilling the desire. Okay, desire is a difficult term to explain, so I will not say that everything will get fulfilled, but it really helps in fulfilling the desire. That is why it is known as the house of desire, or which fulfills the desires. Okay, so friends, I tried to explain about this 11th house in this first video. I'll try to explain more in the second video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye bye.